I want to thank our reader for the great reading, and Gary Lynn Floyd and our CSL music team for the great music supporting the message today. And we're concluding our month of September on authenticity with our message today, you know what you know. You know, we often spend our lives trying to figure out who we are, when in truth, deep down, we already know who we are. The journey isn't about adding more information. It's about uncovering that wisdom that is right within us from the very beginning. Buddha said, your work is to discover your world and then with all your heart, give yourself to it. Now that's worth thinking about, is it not? And while you ponder it, let me give you your question for the week. What is the one choice you might make today to be willing to live authentically as you, to know you are an essential piece of the unity of life puzzle, and to have the courage to be the real you? Let me repeat that. What is the one choice you might make today to be willing to live authentically as you, to know you are an essential piece of the unity of life puzzle, and to have the courage to be the real you? I began this month on authenticity by talking about living authentically and dropping those masks that we get taught to wear early on in our lives. And I want to go back to that and remind you that authenticity is not about being perfect. It's about being real. And the only way to truly live in freedom is to align ourselves with our own spiritual truth. In the Bible, John 8:32, we're told, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And A Course in Miracles tells us, the truth is true, and nothing else is true. That's kind of hard to argue with, isn't it? I don't know about you, but what I want to be is free and to recognize the real truth of who I am and what I know is true for me. Ernest Holmes wrote, the eternal reality is within us. It is that which we are seeking. That's what I was just saying a moment ago, is that we seek that eternal truth because deep down, we know who we are and we know the truth of our being. We were born with that knowing, and we spend our whole lifetime trying to find it when it's right within us. Let me ask you a question. What is one thing about yourself that you know is true, even if the world doesn't always see it? The follow-up question might be, do you hide that part of you or express it freely? I think that's probably the more important question. The September 21st reading of Wholehearted Living Journal was all about how life is a puzzle. And Deepak Chopra wrote, there are no extra pieces in the universe. Everyone is here because he or she has a place to fill, and every piece must fit itself into the big jigsaw puzzle. I have to admit that, as that reading suggested, some pieces of my life are a puzzle to me because I don't see the big picture of how they fit into my being who I am or living authentically. And unfortunately, life doesn't come with a cover on a box that shows us what the final result is supposed to look like. I quoted Buddha earlier. Your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart, give yourself to it. There's a power that we create within ourselves when we strive to be truly authentic in all our words and all our thoughts and all our actions and discover who we are in that big scheme of life and then live from that place. Lao Tzu told us, at the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want. I know we've all watched children when they want something. They're tenacious. They want to get it, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it. I often wonder why we lose that tenacity as we grow up, and we allow others to shape who we are, rather than living from the truth of who we know we are, and being tenacious about being us. I do believe that every person has a role to play in the larger scheme of life. And like puzzle pieces, we're uniquely shaped to connect with others. Absolutely no piece is essential. No piece is wrong, and no piece is unnecessary in that life jigsaw puzzle. So why do so many of us have to overcome worthiness issues? I believe it's because we forget what the Dalai Lama told us. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. Do you believe that the purpose of your life is to be happy? Or do you see yourself as a victim of circumstances, or hear yourself bemoaning all the woes that show up in your life? Many of you know that last week, instead of being on a fun vacation, I ended up being a caregiver for a companion that was in cardiac ICU. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing, and yet it was exactly what I knew I was meant to be doing. If I were able to see that box cover of the puzzle for my life, last week would have been there clear as day. I know one of the gifts in my puzzle is to be compassionate to those people in need. True, sometimes what we want and what we know is who we are meant to be are not always in alignment. And yet, I wholeheartedly believe these words of Catherine Economou. When we withhold our authentic selves, we deprive the world of the very gift we came to give. I want to repeat that because it's very important. When we withhold our authentic selves, we deprive the world of the very gift we came to give. I do believe that we each came to give something to this world, to improve it, to make it a happier place, a place that works for everybody. Had I not shown up last week and been supportive, I would have been grieving my decision and knowing it wasn't the right one. And at sometimes in life, we all have to be the puzzle piece that supports the other more exciting and colorful parts of the puzzle of our life's journey. Not all the puzzle pieces in a puzzle are exactly as bright and cheery as others. And every piece is important. Let's try a spiritual practice. I call it my puzzle piece gift. Think of one quality or gift that you bring to the world. And now, ask yourself, how does this gift bring me happiness? The truth is, sometimes this gift might have you feeling like you have veered off your desired course. But I suspect even in those times that you know you're exactly on course, right? Jonathan Parker told us, authenticity is the bridge between the human personality and the spiritual self. It is that authenticity that had me showing up in Portland last week rather than going on my vacation in Reno. And I suspect it is that authenticity that has you moving through those challenging times in your life with grace and ease because you're aware you're made of love. Let's try another spiritual practice. I call it living my life lessons. Notice when you're trying to be who you think others want you to be. And ask yourself, what do I know to be true for me right now? What do I know to be true for me right now? The truth is, sometimes our unique role in this big puzzle of life just seems like it might not fit, right? And that's when it's time to remember these words that are in the Bible in Psalm 139:23. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. What a beautiful way of reminding us that authenticity is not something we earn or that we manufacture. It's woven into us by God. So why do you think we fail to show up exactly as who we are meant to be? I think it's because it takes a lot of courage. Do you have the courage to be you? To be that unique puzzle piece that fits into the big scheme of life? Courage to be real means a lot of things. It means we have to let go of those masks and face the fear of rejection. It means saying yes to your uniqueness. It means noticing that vulnerability is strength. And it requires us to align with spirit, not with the crowd, and be love in action. I want to briefly talk about each of those issues. We've all learned to wear masks. The responsible one, the peacemaker, the funny one. The masks help us survive, but they keep us from thriving. Courage is daring to take off those masks and say, this is me, imperfect, but true. In 2 Corinthians 3:18, we read, and we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory. To have courage to live unveiled without pretending, that's what that's all about. And yet, who wants to face rejection? I know I don't want to. One of the greatest fears is, if people see the real me, will they still love me? Well, realistically, authentic living doesn't mean everyone will accept you. But it does mean that those who do accept you are loving the real you, not a performance that you're giving. In A Course in Miracles, I read this line once and it really impacted me. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. So stop defending. Have the courage to realize we don't have to defend or explain who we are authentically. It's safe to simply be who we are. Sometimes we try to change shape to fit into someone else's puzzle. Courage is saying, I was designed exactly this way for a reason, and your edges and colors are necessary to the wholeness of life's design. So have the courage to say yes to your unique puzzle piece. Catherine Economo reminded us, to play small is to dim the light of God within you. Authenticity is your permission slip to shine. So quit playing small. Be authentic and shine. We often think courage is being tough, that you can hide behind armor, but the real you will always shine through eventually. Courage is about allowing it to shine through right now, not having to wait until you're on your deathbed or till some great enlightenment happens. Real courage takes strength. having the willingness to be vulnerable and say, here's what I feel, here's what I believe, here's what I struggle with, and here's where I shine. Can you do that? Here's what I feel. Here's what I believe. Here's where I struggle. And here's where I shine. And I know for a fact that a lot of people get through those first three. They're willing to talk about how they feel or what they believe or where they struggle. But having the courage to step fully into your greatness and know where you shine, and remember that God made you uniquely you, that takes courage. So shake those tail feathers and know where you shine and express it. Authenticity sometimes means that we stand apart. It's easy to compare ourselves to others and feel that we don't measure up. Our true power lies in being uniquely who we are. And courage means aligning ourselves with Spirit, not the crowd, which is to say, choose Spirit's whisper to you over society's shout. Yep, I said it. Choose Spirit's whispering to you over society's shout. Ernest Holmes told us, we should not put our trust in things, but in Spirit. Things come and go, but Spirit endures. Courage to be the real you truly is love in action. When you are real, you give others permission to be real. Authenticity is contagious. It softens hearts, it builds trust, and it speaks of love. The Dalai Lama would tell us, the more honest you are, the more open, the less fear you will have, because there is no anxiety about being exposed or discovered. So be honest and open, and find the courage to be the real you, even though it's difficult. So here's a spiritual practice that might help you in discovering your courage. I call it the Courage Booster. Use these affirmations in succession and take a breath between each one when you're doing this exercise. How is it I so easily release the mask, knowing I am a necessary part of life's design? How is it I so lovingly trust my truth, that wisdom within me? And how is it I so joyfully give myself permission to be real, knowing I am safe being real? And while you're boosting your courage, remember these words of Jesus from the Gospel of Thomas. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. Remember those words the next time you're tempted to put on a mask or a facade, because when we hide who we are, we destroy who we are. So quit hiding. And use these words that were inspired by a Buddhist. Be a lamp unto yourself. Follow your truth. Shine your light. And never, ever allow anyone to take from you that which you know you know. And so in summary, in 2025, how might you learn to live in the you know what you know mode? Well, it takes living authentically as who you are, knowing that truth sets you free so you can destroy those masks and all those facades, because otherwise they're going to destroy you. And learn to express yourself freely. Quit hiding parts of who you are. Know that you're an essential piece of this puzzle of life. Discover you and live it with all your heart. And remember, the purpose of life is to be happy as you. So have the courage to be the real you. No playing small, no dimming the light of God that you are. Be willing to be vulnerable. Say what you feel and believe. And remember, authenticity is contagious. It spreads self-love. So here's your affirmation for the week. How is it I so willingly, energetically, and effortlessly live authentically as me? Know I am an essential piece of the unity of life puzzle and have the courage to be the real me. So make a conscious choice each day to live the real you. No mask, no hiding the truth of who you are, just being you. And determine one way you'd like to express that you know what you know in the next week. And then express your unique puzzle piece. Commit to using one of our spiritual practices or one that you made up to help you remember to know about yourself in life. And enjoy being you. Let's pray. We just take a deep, nourishing breath, closing our eyes if that's comfortable. And knowing that each of us can remember daily to express what we feel, what we believe, where we struggle, and importantly, where we shine. So I'm knowing that each of us is truly making time to live who we are and express the joy of life that's allowing ourselves to be authentic. And may we always apply those words of Jesus and bring forth what is within us. So we ask the Divine Spirit to know for us the truth that each of us heard something today that's helping us live more authentically and be that unique puzzle piece that we are in the unity of life. I see each of us as the embodiment of love, being guided with wisdom, having our days filled with gentleness and vision, and rooted in peace and lifted by love. So let's choose today to live in divine alignment with the truth of our being, knowing all that we are and all that we might become. I'm grateful for each person who chose to take some time and spend it with us today. Grateful that we are going forth with joy, courage, and an open heart, and knowing we are guided to know what we know we know. And it's from great gratitude and with joy, bliss, and blessings that I release these words into the law of mind, spirit, and action, knowing they're already done. The yes has been said, so I can say amen, and we can affirm it together. And so it is. And I am so very grateful to everyone who continues to donate to have our community be part of this greater Center for Spiritual Livings and have us be able to continue to reach out and help people in this community. Thank you so much for your donations. Enjoy our offertory song.